All right, I'm in the Weather Center now with Chief Meteorologist George Lessons. And George, if there is any good news to come out of this, and that's a hard phrase to talk about right now with Harvey, if there's any good news, it's finally losing strength in a really dramatic way.
It has stopped raining in most of Texas, and especially in the affected areas. But there's still a lot of punch to this storm. It is still technically a tropical storm. Most times we think about tropical storms and hurricanes being windy and it knocks things down. The main threat for all of this has been the rain.
Just
and
the water.
Houston is very vulnerable to that, and there's still vulnerabilities as this moves to the north. The actual storm is pounding portions of extreme eastern Texas along the Louisiana border, flooding downpours over northwestern portions of Louisiana. To the east, there's a tornado watch because there's also the potential as this storm winds down, it has to spin out the energy somehow. Could be tornadoes across the state of Mississippi. A number of flood warnings in effect all the way from Houston, which will be ongoing with river flood warning for the next several days. Now flash flood watches all the way up into Tennessee and Kentucky, just because there's so much rain that's expected to come down as this finally winds down. Right now, it's about 50 miles north of Lake Charles, Louisiana. Still tropical storm warnings along the Louisiana coast. Starting to pick up some speed now, northeast at about 8 miles an hour, and that will move inland and become a tropical depression by tomorrow afternoon. And then it will move up over the Memphis area, just north of Nashville, and then heading on up into central and northern Kentucky into southern Ohio. By Saturday afternoon, we are not going to see any of the effects from this, other than perhaps some high clouds on the southern horizon. That's all we would see here in West Michigan. And again, the heavy rainfall from East Texas, northwest Louisiana, all the way up through eastern Arkansas. Memphis may see some flooding rains. Also on up to just south of Louisville, up maybe even to Cincinnati. Again, this is a very powerful storm, mostly with the heavy rains. We'll talk about our chances of rain for the Labor Day holiday weekend. That's a little bit later on.
The next few days heading into the Labor Day weekend look like they'll be filled with lots of sunshine and mild temperatures.
So you don't need to shut the pool down just yet.
Not yet.
No. George out on the weather deck right now with really maybe the last really truly summer forecast of the season, you think, George?
Oh, I hope not.
I hope not.
Yeah, we are going to turn cooler, though, for the first couple of weeks of September. Don't shut up the pool because, you know, once you do that, it's going to turn hot again, and you wish you left it open. But again, it is going to cool off. More importantly, it's going to get a lot less humid. We talked about being a little humid today, and it will still be humid this evening. 13 weather ball, though, is back to blue. Cooler, less humid weather in view. And this view brought to you by the great folks at your West Michigan Ace Hardware stores. Here in Grand Rapids, we still got plenty of sunshine. It's going to be still humid most of the evening. Winds are going to turn around to the north by daybreak. That'll eventually drop our dew points out of the 60s into the 50s, and we'll drop to around 60. Notice there are a few clouds here later on this evening. That's because we're tracking some showers and thunderstorms off to the north. We'll show you that in a minute. Did you have to deal with this morning? Fog, especially up north. We really didn't see a lot of fog here in the greater Grand Rapids area, as we kind of suspected last night at 11. Most of it was to the east and some to the north, but it did knock that visibility down to near zero up until about 10 o'clock. Then a beautiful afternoon up there from the Stephen Wessling Observatory. We managed to get back up to 81, hot spot in the state within Ann Arbor as well, but considerably cooler elsewhere, mid and upper 70s. But dew points have been stubbornly high, upper 50s and low 60s. This will eventually drop. It'll start to feel more comfortable, but not until well after you go to bed here tonight. What we are tracking are some showers and storms. We talked about these yesterday coming down with a cold front. They are still expected to fall apart as they come on through. Just a few fair weather cumulus clouds as expected, but up and through here, this is a pretty impressive looking line, but it's starting to run out of some steam, putting down some heavy rains up here in Manistee County, just now approaching the Ludington area. That will be pushing south, but again, falling apart as it does. And eventually by daybreak, all of this will be just some low-level clouds, but sunshine from Thursday afternoon on through about the middle of the day on Monday. Here we go, putting it into motion. Here are those showers and thunderstorms. Watch how they just kind of, that's it. They just kind of fall apart here over the next several hours. Clouds to the south in the morning, already sunny to start your day. You'll end your day with sunshine. Notice the winds now are going to be out of the northeast for the next several days. That's going to cool us off, keep us comfortable. Highs generally in the 70s. Clear skies during the overnight hours. May get down into the 40s here very early on Friday morning up north, but we'll be back up to around 70 here on Friday afternoon. Notice these high clouds? That's from Harvey. We may see some of those come up overhead, especially on Saturday, before that finally moves off to the east. Forecast out on Lake Michigan, a scattered shower and isolated thunderstorm this evening. That's over the north half. And then the clouds will just kind of dissipate towards daybreak as they head south. Small craft advisories go into effect from Pentwater north later on tonight as winds turn to the northeast. A low rip for risk currents because the winds are going to be out of the east and northeast. Waves will start to build to around 1 to 2 feet by the end of the night. Other than that, expect an evening shower over the northwest counties this evening, just becoming partly to mostly cloudy south. Coolest up north, mid-50s here, near 60 from Holland southward. Up north, you'll mainly just see mostly cloudy skies overnight. Wouldn't rule out a sprinkle, but mostly dry, 54 to as low as 58. Grand Rapids southward, just a few clouds here later on tonight, becoming overcast towards daybreak, between about 58 and still kind of a muggy 60. Only 72 tomorrow after reaching 81 today. 70 on Friday with those high clouds around into Saturday. But we'll warm up Saturday through Monday with highs in the mid to upper 70s. 13 on target forecast. We pushed the showers from Monday night now into Monday afternoon, arriving a little bit earlier as a cold front comes through. And man, does that cool us off next week? Highs low to mid 60s at best. A chance of showers both Wednesday and Thursday. That does look like fall, and we're going to continue to be a little bit cool through the first couple of weeks of September.
Temperatures are going to fall off a cliff there, George.
Yeah, but I think they'll warm up again toward the end of the month.
Good, good. All right, thank you, sir.